I've given you guys a bit of the background between me and Rollo, and I've had this problem where I really do admire his work, but it's been years of him just making shit up about me. He's never liked me. He doesn't really like that even though I've credited him the whole time, the entire time, that I read his book, enjoyed it, and I talk about a lot of the topics in his book. He doesn't like that. And what it's just been for years is him blacklisting people that work for me, which he does pick and choose, and also just making shit up. And it's stuff I can't really disprove. I'll give you guys an example. He is convinced from the bottom of his heart that I am sabotaging him, that I somehow have strings at Daily Wire. Like at one point, he said I was taking a paycheck. Now he's kind of walking that back, and now he's saying, no, I didn't say. I said you may as well have taken a paycheck. And I'm like, no, you were definitely insinuating I worked there. He's also saying I have a manager named Gina. I've never had a female. Do you guys think I would have a female manager of all people? And it's just tiring because when someone makes stuff up about you, you can't really disprove it, right? It's totally fine if he doesn't like me. I've been completely okay with that. I mean, I did really want his friendship, but if he doesn't like me, and for those of you that don't know, essentially, guy named Rollo, he's a genius in the space. Go read his book. But he's just never liked me. And for years, he's just made stuff up. So he's convinced I'm trying to sabotage him. He's also convinced that, and it's interesting because he's convinced that I'm doing what he is doing. Because he has actively tried to get in the middle of collaborations I've had. He's actively bad-mouthed me to people. And I've never done any of that to him, to be honest. I've said that the things that he is saying about me are not true, but I wish he would stop making things up. And what'll happen is he'll just get these theories and run with them. So one of them is that I am secretly sabotaging him. I know. Look. All I'm trying to do is clear my name and disprove the things that are just simply untrue. That's it. Recently, I told you guys about one of the reasons that I got into the red pill was because my brother tried to commit suicide when I was younger. This happened years ago. What happened was I was at school and I got a phone call and he'd attempted. I don't want to get into the details, but it was a very scary moment for my family. We are very moved on past that. He's living a great life now. But he's now saying that I guess that story, I use it because he also had someone commit suicide close to him. And I'm saying it so I can relate to him. I mean, how do I disprove that? I mean, does he want medical records? Do you know what I mean? And yeah, he's just paranoid. And it's just weird to me because my dad is the same age. And I try to explain to my dad, I'll tell him, I'll be like, Dad, you won't believe what this old guy did on the internet today. And my dad can't even believe it. And it's unfortunate because he's a really good writer. But I mean, this stuff it really bites him in the ass when he gets in all this drama instead of just focusing on his content. I've never attacked him. All I've really said is that the stuff he's saying about me is not true. I do call him old. Okay, I did call him old. I did guilty, but he's like my dad's age. You know what I mean? Let me go through. I mean, there was the other thing too was, and this was the worst part about his 4-hour stream. This was the worst part. So he attacks Glenn in this 4-hour stream. And he claims that Glenn Lawrence, he's a friend of the show, I just called him. And he claims that he is a sex addict and uses hookers. As far as I know, that's not true. He keeps saying this stuff. I'd really like, prove it. But Glenn, so as you guys know, Thor is a guy in this space who is sick. And we did a fundraiser and we raised money for Thor. And I can't remember the exact number, but it was somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000. And Glenn has taken off so much time to take care of him. And if anyone's ever taken care of like a relative that's sick or like something like that, you guys know just how much time that takes out of your schedule. And it takes a very selfless person to do that for someone and ask for nothing in return. That I can't disprove that, right? I don't know. I'm not somebody sleeping with so I wouldn't know, but that seems very out of character to me. Yeah, no, and let me see. I put notes of all the things. Let's see. You know, another thing that he said is he said that my divorce documentary is never going to come out. I understand why he thinks that. Getting demonetized really derailed it. I just put, and the first guy we gave it to just had never done a documentary before, and we just had some hiccups. Now we have a new team on it. They're going to give me a draft soon. I don't know what to tell you. I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to see what else. He also said, this was a weird lie, actually. He said that me and Tori fell out because Devin was jealous. And he said I was Devin's maid of honor, which I went to the wedding, but I don't know, guys. The challenge really is he just says a lot of stuff I can't really disprove because it's made up. And he'll get like one email or one screenshot of like a little bit of a conversation. And then he's just convinced. He's convinced I tried to set him up. I can't really disprove that. I wasn't my intention. I can see why he thinks that. It was my mistake. I wish I didn't do it. What happened was I asked him if I could have content creators on that live stream. So I thought, you know, it was my show. I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. He did. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, you know, and he's also trying to say that, this is just hilarious. He's trying to say that I started this. I did not. Again, the only thing I've said is I have to disprove the things. I know he's just a drama queen. You know, you accuse me of things, you give no proof, no evidence, and that's really it.